Tigers open exhibition play this afternoon. If you need a little warm-up and need a little shot, here's the way Ernie Harwell used to open every spring training broadcast, the first game of the year, with the Song of Solomon.
Lo, the winter is past, the rain is over and gone, the flowers appear on the earth, the time of the singing of birds is come, and the voice of the turtle is heard in our land.
That is the voice of the Hall of Famer, the late Ernie Harwell, who was the Tigers broadcaster and a friend of mine, too. And I got a chance to speak at length with him before he passed away. Do you pray every day?
Oh, absolutely right. Mm-hmm.
What do you pray for?
Well, I pray that I can serve God the right way. When in the morning I get up and I say, this day belongs to you, and I want to serve you the way you want me to, and I've turned it over to you, and I'm not going to worry about anything. I know that you're in charge, and whatever happens to me in your light is going to be the best for me. And I pray for my family, and then I do some Bible reading, too, and some commentary reading, and start the day off that way. I think you, as well as being physically alert, you have to be alert about your spiritual life, whatever you believe in, and have to follow the precepts that you've been taught or you've found along the way. It's pretty simple. I think a lot of times we get too involved and get worried about the differences in religion, where we should probably emphasize the similarities that we all have about whom we worship and what kind of life we lead.
Did you ever have a prayer answered?
Oh, absolutely, yeah, lots of times. Mm-hmm.
What comes to mind?
Well, I had one that was sort of a commercial situation. It was funny. I was out in Los Angeles. The Tigers were playing at Anaheim, and my son was out there working in a ministry, and I had dinner with him in his home in Anaheim Hills, and he said, "Dad, you know, this ministry is really going tough, and I'm in a situation where I need $10,000." And I said, "Well, you know, that's pretty tough, but I'll pray for it." Well, I went home. I went back to the hotel and I prayed, and I was working for WJR at that time, and I got a message that the manager of the station had called. And I told myself, well, this isn't very good news. Nobody ever calls to give you a good. So I called, and he said, you know, the next morning I called, and he said, well, Ernie, we've been talking about things, and we think that you're doing a good job, and we want to give you an extra $10,000.
You're kidding.
Yeah, and that happened. It really happened.
Wow. That is startling.
Yeah. So you never know, and other little prayers are answered from time to time, and we don't always look for proof, you know, because we have faith anyway.
That church next to Comerica Park that has the banner that says "Pray for the Tigers." Do we have to pray for them this year, or are they going to be okay?
I think they're going to be okay. It all gets down, Michael, to one thing, and that's pitching. If a team gets good pitching, it's going to have a good year. And the Tiger pitching right now is a little bit in flux. We don't know exactly what's going to happen because a lot of the guys are injured, and we don't know whether they can come back physically. And some of the fellows on the mound haven't really been tested much. So it's pretty much up in the air, and I think, like Sparky used to say, give me about 40 games, and then I can pretty much tell you what might happen.
Did you spend much time down there at the ballpark? Do you go to many games?
Well, I went to the opener. We had a little session down there with the Kell situation, the celebration for George Kell. But generally, I don't go much. I listen on the radio and I watch them on TV. I don't want to be the old guy sitting over there in the corner and somebody looks over and says, "What's he doing here? We don't need him. We thought he's over."
You know what they would say? They would say what they said about Ty Cobb. There's the greatest.
I don't know.
There's the greatest right there. Just like the movie you were in, the Ty Cobb movie.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And after all, you are there at every game with that beautiful statue right front and center at Comerica Park. Nobody goes into that park without thinking of you. So
I'm sort of proud of that. You know, I'm hollow, but I weigh 350 pounds.
And you're perfectly fit, just like you are now.
And I keep my mouth shut, which is unusual.
And also a good lesson.
Yeah.
Thank you for the life lessons that you teach us and that you take the time to do. And I hope you know, you probably must know, that you're beloved around the country, and we love you here.
Thank you, Michael.
Ernie Harwell, April 16th, 2009.